and ideology and economic system is built off of us, them versus us. They have to identify me. They have to identify the outgroup. They have to identify people that they're willing to exploit, people that they're willing to harm, people who they're willing to genocide in some cases. Just take a look at what's going on in Gaza. Take a look at what's going on in the Sudan, right? So any of these people that you're dealing with from MAGA, they have bought in and subscribed to the us versus them mentality. And Detective Stabler, the actor, Maloney, I think is his last name, he's not having it. And it's good to see this side of liberal white folks. They may not have been progressive 2-3 years ago, but they sure got some, they're knuckling up. They're putting their names, their reputations, their fortunes, they're putting their safety on the line, and they don't care. They're running into, they're like, once more to the breach, dear friends, once more. You know what I mean? Like, they're going ham and they're giving it their all because they understand at the core of it, they're dealing with an ideology that is forever us versus them. And those us versus them, those of us who are on the outskirts, who is it? Black folks, immigrants, women, the LGBTQIA community, poor people, working class people. And so it's finally good to see people who normally they were going to brunch. They were just enjoying, what they had. And they weren't really in the fight the way the fight required it. I would argue and say that the fight required this years ago. If we had people fighting the way we have people fighting now, if people were fighting in 2015, the way people are fighting in 2025, we would never have had to go through this Donald Trump era. Both era, E-R-A, and error, E-R-R-O-R. But that's fine. Sometimes you have to go through. You have to go through the difficult times. Sometimes you have to go through the ignorance. Sometimes you just have to go through. But on the other side of going through the ignorance, going through the hardship, going through the pain is the bounce back. And what we have to make sure is as we go to this bounce back phase, that we don't just let ourselves and this nation go through this vicious cycle again. And that's what's got to be different. I know we got a lot of joy infused into us when Zoran won Tuesday night. I know we did. But we got to make sure that we don't go back to what was happening before, where Democrats aren't doing anything to actually help the average American. I see now. Okay, great. I got 6 minutes left. This all started when I tried to share that video, that screen share. So let me close that Twitter tab while my computer finally bounced back. If Democrats do the same thing, and I don't think this is going to be the case with Zoran. He's made too many promises and he's a democratic socialist to his heart. So I think he's going to get in there and get the job done. That's good for New York, and we need that for New York. New York needs that for New York. But Democrats around this country, if you all don't see what has to be done to secure democracy is for you to take care of the people, the very same we, the people that have given you the consent to govern. If you don't take care of us, then the ignorance and the malevolence of fascism is going to bounce back as well. If we do not rectify and change some things, if we don't change some fundamental things about this democracy, let me tell you something. Fascism, we can beat them in 2028, but in 2032, they will be back with the level of vengeance that I don't know that we can stop. So we have to be the people who notices the loop that we're in. We got to recognize the loop. We have to understand precisely where we are on the curve. And right now, after what happened Tuesday night, we're on the positive side of the bounce back. But if we play this thing like the Democrats always play it and try to pacify the same corporate overlords who have sold us out, this country out, this democracy out, humanity out, public health out, the planet. They've sold everything out for some damn quarterly profit margins. If the Democratic Party still capitulates to them, then the revenge of the Sith, the revenge of MAGA, Nazism, and fascism will make what we're going through right now look like a walk in the park. Folks, I really wanted to share that video with you, but my computer said absolutely not. Not tonight, Dixon. I got a chance to look in StreamYard one more time real quick. It's blanking out on me again, but I see my homeboy, my brother from another mother. Listen, the angry ginger, some people you want around you when it goes down. When it goes down, I'm hoping to have the angry ginger around me because he don't look like he's going to ask a whole lot of questions. He's going to measure up everything. He's going to have the whole situation figured out in 0.2 seconds, and he's going to swing first. That's the kind of person I want coming up on my flank. So I'm proud to have that brother following up after me right here on thisspace.tv. Make sure you share, like, and subscribe because the best is still yet to come. That's it for me. Nick, I hope you can hear me. I hope you can play my video and take us out of here because I can't see anything, but I'll see you next time.
The Benjamin Dixon Show is only possible with listener support. Go to patreon.com/VPD show and support the Benjamin Dixon Show.
What is happening, everybody? How are we doing today? It's been a good week. It's been a good week. You guys tired of winning yet? I asked yesterday on my show on Wednesday, are you guys tired of winning yet? Little did I know how many more W's we were going to pick up. It's only been 24 hours. You know, I had no idea that this week was going to be, that it was going to be this good, that there was going to be this much going on, this many W's. So, I mean, starting the week off, Mom Donnie winning, Cheryl winning, 12 seats in Virginia being flipped from red to blue in the delegation, that whole entire school board in Pennsylvania being flipped and all the Moms of Liberty people losing, every single Moms of Liberty candidate that faced a contested race lost. The sheriff in that Pennsylvania county being voted out. Jay Jones winning the AG spot. I mean, the Prop 50 passing in California. So much winning. I was like, this is it, right? This is it. Oh no, there was more. I don't know if you guys saw Donald Trump getting smacked down. Donald Trump getting told that, did any blue lose? Nobody that I know of. There was a couple, I did see a couple seats in, Virginia stayed red in like hyper red counties, right? Like, I mean, people that won like, 72% to 18%. And even those counties had more blue votes than ever before. That's crazy. That's crazy. So I don't know if you guys, I know that you guys are aware, but I don't know if you guys saw the news today that Trump was told to pay out those SNAP benefits by Friday by a judge. And, you know, last night I dipped into Pep Talk's channel for a minute and was watching while I was doing some stuff. And I was watching him watch a video on the Milwaukee Bucks coach talking about making sure that them kids get paid, or not the kids get paid, but the kids' parents get paid their SNAP benefits, because this ain't about being a Democrat, it ain't about being a Republican, it's about kids. Them kids need to be, you know, fed, and you know this is the future of this country. So, you know, we need to act appropriately, and you know he can say, don't be a Democrat, don't be a Republican, be a person that cares about kids. But we all know who cares about kids and who don't care about kids. We've seen that. We know that Donald Trump is happy to use poor people and poor people's children as a piece on his 5D chessboard, right? Right? But I'll tell you this. MAGA's noticing. Okay? MAGA's noticing. They're not happy. And Trump, he can go ahead, he can lie, he can tell people that what he's doing is, you know, he's lowering prices. He's doing all these things. You guys don't know the energy prices are down. Gas is going to be $2. Like, you guys have no idea how good this is about to be. And he's just going to be saying that. This is a 2 weeks thing, right? This is 2 weeks. 2 weeks every time. 2 weeks. Same stuff. Well, recently Trump was told he's going to pay those SNAP benefits, right? And he needs to pay those SNAP benefits because that's the goddamn law. That's your job. This isn't something that anybody should be questioning. This isn't like a debatable subject. There is a fund that was created to pay those SNAP benefits. And those SNAP benefits need to be paid. Look, I'm not on SNAP. I grew up on SNAP. I grew up on food stamps. I grew up during the time where the food stamps came in little booklets, and you had to tear them out like they were cash. And you had paper food stamps. That's when I grew up on food stamps. But I don't need food stamps now. In fact, the store that I work for delivered a truckload of food to a food bank. And we've been donating truckloads of food to food banks for years. The people that I work for are good people. The people that I work for have been donating to local food banks for 50 years. But just recently, we sent a whole goddamn truck over there. And I'm not in that line. My friends aren't in that line. Because it ain't about us. It's not about us needing food stamps. It's not about us needing food assistance. It's about other people, and you should care about other people. So anyways, this is what Donald Trump said. All right, you guys ready for this shit? You guys ready for this? Last year, so I work in the health food industry. So I know when people try to pull some bullshit, I know the tricks, right? So last year you had the MAGA Republican congressmen posting pictures of their turkeys, right? They're like, look at this, Joe Biden's economy, $70 turkeys. And I was like, that right there is a free-range, organic, heirloom, antibiotic-free bird. And to be honest with you, that was a good price on that bird. That's no Butterball. That's no Tyson, all right? So I made sure to go and debunk people on Twitter last year when I'd see these Congress people putting these Thanksgiving turkeys. Because reality does not agree with MAGA Republicans. Reality does not ever actually agree. No statistics, no facts. Nothing agrees with MAGA Republicans at any point. And of course, Donald Trump decided he's going to say, President Donald Trump boasted the price of a Thanksgiving dinner from Walmart had dropped under his administration, conveniently leaving out the catch behind the bargain meal. Trump tried to ease the pain of his party's election disasters by bragging on True Social Wednesday evening that Walmart's cheaper Thanksgiving dinner is irrefutable evidence that Republicans are actually the party of affordability, which apparently Donald Trump just learned about the word affordability. It's a new word. It's like groceries. It's like groceries. It's a really old-timey word. He said, Walmart just announced that prices for a Thanksgiving dinner is now down 25%. Since under sleepy, crooked Joe Biden in 2024, affordability is a Republican stronghold. Hopefully, Republicans will use this irrefutable fact. And then he immediately got community noted. Missing context. So we're going to talk about that missing context because this is, like I said, they don't exist in reality. They just like to twist facts, and they know that MAGA Republicans cannot read. They know they can't read. They know they're never going to go and research any of this shit. And being that I'm in grocery, and I've been in grocery for 20 years. I've been in management for over 20 years. Being that I'm in grocery, when someone says that grocery prices are down, that sounds weird to me. Because I can tell you that my store does not increase prices. We try our damnedest to keep prices low for our community. We're symbiotic with our community. Our community took care of us, and we take care of our community. We keep those prices low. And even we are raising our prices. And I'm not talking a little bit. I'm not talking about 10 cents or 20 cents. I'm talking about $1, $1.50, $2. I'm talking about 25% on some items. Insane price increases on chocolate and coffee. Insane price increases on steaks. I have $20 steaks on my shelf. I have never, ever in my life had a $20 steak on my shelf. That's insanity. So when I hear this kind of shit, almost immediately I'm saying to myself, there's something wrong here. There's something wrong here. Walmart buying pallet quantities of stuff that nobody can. Are they getting it from China? Are they taking it backdoor? How is this happening? Well, let me tell you how it's happening. Walmart's Thanksgiving 2025 bundle features 22 items, while the chain store's 2024 meal had 29 items. The entire 2025 cart comes out to $39.33 according to the Walmart website. In its announcement of the 2024 meal, Walmart says it would serve 8 people for less than $7 per person, making it roughly $56. Walmart, of course, did not immediately respond, and it lists out all things, right? So you have a 29-item meal. This is shrinkflation. How is this possible that people are this stupid? This is shrinkflation, guys. If you don't know what shrinkflation is, you should Google it. There's a whole Reddit thread on it. I've been watching it for years. So during COVID, there's tons of shrinkflation, right? And I told this story probably a while back on my channel. I'll tell it here. I had a rep, and he said to me, "Hey man, those crackers that you've been looking for, they're back in stock." And I go, "Oh, okay, bet, sweet. Can I take a look at them?" He goes, "Yeah. You know, they changed their packaging. Packaging did get smaller, but the price went down too." And I went, "Oh, okay. Once again, that sounds weird, but I'll take a look at it because just like Trump and just like Republicans, fucking corporations lie constantly." So I take a look at it, and I look and I go, "No, that's not cheaper." And he's like, "Yeah. The price per box is actually cheaper." I'm like, "But the price per ounce ain't." And so I did this fellow a solid because he's a good dude. He's a nice dude. He's just doing his job. I did him a solid. And I went and I found the price because I can just go through my database and find all the old information, right? Went and found the price on the box when it was 6.5 ounces. And I did a price per ounce for him. And then I found the price when it was a 5.5 ounce during COVID. And I showed him that the price per ounce went up by 8 cents. And then I went and found the 4.5 ounce box that he's now offering me during this time with that price, and I showed him that it went up another 12 cents. So it went up by over 20 cents per ounce after losing 2 ounces on the box. And he said, "Oh, I guess I should have done the math." And that, folks, is how they get you. When something goes from 29 to 22 items and they're trying to tell you that you're getting 25%, a 25% discount on that, they are lying to you. The other thing about this, and it's going to go into it a little bit more, so we'll read a little bit more here. Despite getting hit with an embarrassing fact check on Wednesday evening, Trump started Thursday by continuing to claim that Walmart's Thanksgiving meal price was somehow a victory. 2025 Thanksgiving dinner under Trump is 25% lower than 2024 Thanksgiving dinner under Biden, according to Walmart, he posted. My costs are lower than the Democrats on everything, especially oil and gas. So the Democrats' affordability issue is dead. Stop lying. That, if he could stop lying, that would be dope. I'd like him to stop lying. Republicans in Tuesday's elections were hammered on affordability, particularly in New York City, where Democratic Socialist Zohran Mamdani ran a campaign singularly focused on addressing the cost of living in the Big Apple. The drubbing has some Republican pundits and politicians in hysterics, deciding on how to course correct so they don't suffer such humiliating losses in 2026 midterms. Some have begged Trump to address domestic economic issues like high grocery prices and steady inflation. Despite Trump's false claims he defeated these economic issues, Americans strongly disapprove of his economy. And we're going to get to that. On Wednesday, Dr. Gina Ladon of MAGA Network Real America's Voice begged Trump to come home, asking him to stop focusing attention on global issues and start focusing on improving the lives of Americans. Remember when it was America First, guys? You guys remember when it was going to be America First? People are feeling completely disabled economically, she said, and if we don't come home and focus on our domestic issues, I'm afraid our midterms will look like this. And she's, of course, talking about what happened. So one of the other things about this that they don't talk about here is of those items, the missing context. The 2025 Walmart Thanksgiving meal contains 15 items, while the 2024 meal contained 21 items. Additionally, most of the brand name items in the 2024 meal were replaced with great value items. Do you know why they were replaced with great value items? Because we're in great value America. We got T-Mood. We got fucking T-Mood, guys. We got a Wish president. We got T-Mood Thanksgiving coming up. This goose is cooked. You're not going to sit here and tell me that prices are better now. I know how to use the Fred. I know what CPI is. Look, you can close down the goddamn government and hide numbers all you fucking want. I work in the industry. There is nothing cheaper right now. I have not put up a price tag in fucking forever. And I'm not even just saying Trump. I'm saying since like 2012. Nah, that's like it was like 2020. There was a time of deflation. It's been years since I have put up a tag where the price went down on something. And that's like, once again, I've said this over and over again. If Trump was a smart person, well, first of all, if Trump was a smart person, you know what he would fucking done? He would have gotten into office in 2025. He would have shut his fucking mouth. He would have went and played golf. He would have coasted off of an economy that inflation was decelerating to 2.4%, where the jobs market was strong, where egg prices were eventually going to come down, and he could have just claimed that was all him. He could have done that. But no, the moron had to make it his win. He could have done that, but he chose not to. And you know what he could be doing now, but he's choosing not to, is he could say climate change is real and it's affecting things. Climate change is affecting beans. Climate change is affecting peas. Climate change is affecting corn. Climate change is affecting olives. Those are all facts. Go ahead and go Google that shit. I know what I'm talking about. Screwworm is affecting cattle. Climate change is affecting cattle. Global supply chains are affecting food, whether it's cattle or it's grains, wars overseas, affecting those things. He could say any one of these fucking things and say, that is why grocery prices are higher. But he's too fucking dumb. He doesn't know that. He just says instead, prices aren't higher. They're actually lower. And MAGA falls for that shit. Make America great value again. It's the dumbest timeline. You don't need to even do what he's doing. It's insane. So, if you think MAGA isn't noticing, oh, they are. Oh, they are. They might not know yet how to talk about all of this snap stuff. They might still think that Donald Trump is somehow keeping the prices down, and it's the evil leftist, socialist, communist Democrats that are keeping prices high in only their local grocery store. But it does seem like they're being affected, and we've said this from the very beginning, that MAGA Republicans are never going to realize it's hot until they touch the stove. Because these are people that, whether it's immigrants that voted for Trump, that they didn't, it wasn't going to be me. It wasn't going to be me that was deported. It wasn't going to be my wife that was going to be deported. It wasn't going to be my friends that were going to be deported or my coworkers. It's other people, the criminals. They don't know it's going to happen to them, so they don't care. And then it happens to them, and all of a sudden they care. All of a sudden, when you're a farmer and you're in Texas and you've been living off that good of having immigrants coming through that you can abuse and you can pay low wages, and all of that shit. When all of a sudden those people can't show up to work anymore because they're scared. Now you're affected. Now you care. Now that's why we have all these Trump supporter farmers that are like, brother, come help us. I thought you said you loved us, man. Brenda, he said he loved us. Does he still love us? He loves Tesla. He loves Tesla. So this is what we got for you. This MAGA fan's viral complaint holds the key to ending Trump. Now, this is an opinion piece, just so you guys know. This ain't Walter Cronkite, all right? But here we go. Here we go. Yesterday was election day in much of America. Although the biggest races were in California, Virginia, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Maine, and New York City, as a bellwether for next year's midterms, they could define the fate and future of Trumpism. The stakes were enormous and were bleeding through into social media. One of the most viral Facebook posts this week was from a MAGA mom complaining that her Democratic mother-in-law won't loan her grocery money. She explains that she can't feed her family because Trump's government shutdown has frozen her SNAP and WIC benefits, and she wrote of her husband. He asked his mother to buy a can of baby formula until our WIC comes in. Her response was, "You voted for this." Oh, how the turntables. It's crazy. You know, it's so funny to think that the way that MAGA Republicans have walked around and the way they stuck their chest out and the way they've openly talked about the only reason that they voted for Trump was to make the liberals cry. And then when it turns out that the person that Trump is going to make cry are Republicans, now they want empathy. We watched that video. I don't know if you guys watched my stream on Saturday. We watched the video, and I described the exact scenario where MAGA deserves your empathy and the exact scenario when MAGA does not deserve your empathy. If you are a MAGA Republican that voted for Trump and you look at the deportations and you say to yourself, that's fucking wrong. That's not what I voted for. If you look at the way that half of this country is being treated, being called terrorists, Antifa being called not anti-fascist, but a terrorist organization, and you say to yourself, hey, that's not right. Antifa's anti-fascist. That's not good. If you look at the way that other MAGA Republicans treat people like Kash Patel or Vivek Ramaswamy or other brown people and go, you know, that shit seems racist. If you look at what Trump is doing today and you say to yourself, you know what? I think this dude is trying to be a dictator. And you know what? I think that maybe I shouldn't have voted for Donald Trump. I might have some empathy for you. But if you don't look at those things in that way, and if you're saying things like, Trump wants to release the Epstein files, but he can't, it's not his fault. I have zero empathy for you. And this woman, her mother-in-law, probably looks at her and her husband and goes, you're not deserving of my empathy. You don't have empathy for other people in this country. Why should I give it to you? And I've said this over and over again about the left. I said, I love you guys. I love being here with you guys. I've only got about 3 years left until you guys decide I'm too mean to be on your side and you guys kick me out of the party. But while I'm over here, I like being here because you guys are good people. You guys care about people. You guys care about whether or not someone is hurting. And your empathy is your biggest strength because it allows you to understand what it's like to be that person without actually having to be that person. But it's also the left's biggest weakness. And what I'm seeing right now from the left and what makes me so happy is that the left is finally figuring out, nah, I'm going to save my empathy. I'm going to give it to somebody that deserves it. And that guys, that's called game theory. If you've never seen a video on game theory, you should watch a video on game theory. It's called the tit for tat strategy. And that is when you have a person that treats you well, and you should always start by treating a person well, then you treat them well. And when that person stops treating you well, you stop treating them well. Because it's very important to treat people well and always give people paths to redemption. When that person treats you badly and you treat them badly and they go back to treating you well, now you're going to treat them badly the next time, but if they treat you well again the next time, you got 2 being treated well in a row, you start treating them well again. Because you have shown them, I'm not going to take this shit from you. And that creates a healthy relationship. It's called tit for tat. It's game theory. You should look it up. The left is learning tit for tat. The left before was just, I'm going to just keep treating you well. Even if it means it hurts the other people around me that I love. Because I want to make sure that people see me as being this role model of my values. What this person's mother-in-law did was tit for tat. The largest percentage of comments were variations on, that's what you wanted when you voted for the orange asshole, but you must have thought he'd only do it to black and Hispanic people. Fuck around and find out. Along those same lines, Trump went on 60 Minutes this weekend and lied to Norah O'Donnell's face multiple times, including a whopper about grocery prices when she pointed out that they're going up and up and up, which is confirmable by looking at CPI. No, you're wrong, Trump lied with his best sincere expression. They went up under Biden. Right now, they're going down, other than beef, which we're working on. Yeah, tell us about it, Donnie. Just like climate change is a hoax, cutting taxes on billionaires helps working people, and you and your sons taking billions in crypto money from foreigners isn't corruptly peddling influence out of what's left of the White House. The simple fact that is in the 1960s, you could rent a small apartment, buy a used car, and put yourself through college on a minimum wage job. I know because I did. This is from this gentleman, right? And here's the thing. People will say to you guys, and this guy's going to get into it a little bit. They'll say to you, they'll say, you know what? Show me something that socialism has done. Show me any time socialism has worked out. I dare you. Okay. How about Franklin fucking Roosevelt? My wife said his middle name is Delano. Franklin fucking Roosevelt. Okay. How about the New Deal? How about the most prosperous time for Americans in this country? That a good example? How about his cousin, Theodore? How about Teddy Roosevelt taxing the shit out of robber barons with progressive taxes? How about that? But here's the really good thing. Here's the really good thing. People are waking up. people are seeing this stuff. Not just this MAGA lady who finally touched the fire and recognized, holy shit, that's hot. Oh my God, that burns. And other people burn themselves on it. She'll probably never have empathy for those people. It doesn't matter. But people are finally waking up. And polls show that over 60% of Americans that are polled now think positively about socialism. I just watched a video today, and I believe the man's name is Volksreich, but it's a channel that usually does like art history and stuff like that, and he just put out a documentary on Peter Thiel. And you should watch it, because everything that's going on right now is a part of what Peter Thiel and Curtis Yarvin wanted for this country. And whether or not Peter Thiel has now fallen out with Donald Trump because Donald Trump is only sticking his toe or, half his leg in dictatorship and won't dive full on into it because the people around him won't let him. Not because Donald Trump don't want to, but because the people around him are like, no, I have to live here too. They only want to be part-time villains, and then they want to get their bag, and then they want to get the fuck out. But you should watch that. I believe it's called Here Comes the Antichrist, I believe is one of the titles, because he has an A-B title. I believe the other title is the scary true story of Peter Thiel. It just came out. It's a really, really good documentary. I'll see if I can pull it up for you guys, and I'll go ahead and get that going. What's up, Boston Brian? What's happening, Boston Brian? But let's get that. Let's get that going. But let's talk about what this guy had to say. After the Hoover administration and their corrupt Wall Street buddies drove the world economy off the edge with the Republican Great Depression, and America elected Franklin Roosevelt to put the country back together, conservatives began to worry aloud about FDR's advisor, British economist John Maynard Keynes. Kinesiology, right? Kinesiologic, what is it? I can't say it. And FDR had this wild idea that it should be possible to create a nation where at least 2/3 of the people were in the middle class. They'd do it by heavily taxing the morbidly rich. FDR raised it to 77% by 1936, giving union power to working people, the Wagner Act in 1935, and providing a solid social safety net, Social Security, a minimum wage, unemployment insurance, and food stamps to create a middle-class floor. The programs were universally decried by the GOP as socialism, the doorway to communism, and radically anti-American. Every major social program since the 1930s has been opposed by Republicans. And in the 1950s, Russell Kirk, William F. Buckley Jr., Barry Goldwater, and other thinkers in the movement provided a rationale for their opposition. They argue out throughout the 1950s that if the middle class ever got too large, American society would begin to disintegrate under the weight of FDR's socialist programs. Kirk and Buckley warned that women would forget their place in the kitchen and bedroom. Young people would stop respecting their elders and the value of hard work, and racial minorities would demand social and economic equality with whites. The results would be societal chaos, leading to the downfall of America as we knew it. And that's exactly, here, let's just find that video. Let's find that video. Oh, you guys can't see this yet. This is for the end of the show. You guys can't watch this one. Oh, you guys can't see anyways. I'm going to find the video. I want you guys to watch this video. If you don't have time, I understand. Okay? I understand. It's an hour and a half long. I understand. But I want you guys to watch this video. God, I can't find it right now. Okay, I'm gonna. If you're in my Discord, I'm gonna post it in the Discord later today. It's such a good video. It just came out, and it explains exactly what he's saying there. It explains how Peter Thiel. Maybe it's this one. Oh, here it is right here. Okay, I'm going to play like a half second of this for you guys. We're going to play this for half a second. But I don't want, it's a very long video.
Internet was a miracle. A digital Wild West where information, money, knowledge, and culture could flow around the world with no limits. It promised us a future where technology would set humanity free. It promised a future where power would belong to the individual. But somewhere along the way, that dream was corrupted. As the internet grew to become ubiquitous, the open frontier closed, and the dream of freedom became a nightmare of surveillance, consumerism, advertising, and control.
The Trump administration has tapped Palantir, the data mining company, to compile data on people in the United States for a master database.
The same technology that we had hoped would liberate us began dividing, manipulating, and watching on a scale that was
And then I want to say it's about 53 minutes in here. Let me see if I can find this real quick. Yeah, here it is.
Ops spies in the military to, yes, predict danger, but behind the scenes, they're slowly shifting away the power of surveillance into completely...
So this is talking all about Palantir, and I believe this is where he starts talking about Palantir in Israel.
...private hands with no democratic control over who gets flagged or why, or how to fight back. This type of surveillance is a violation of personal liberty by almost any definition you could think of. It goes against almost every value we've come to expect and understand as Americans. Palantir is literally a magic crystal ball watching all of us all the time, and it was created by Peter Thiel. And part of the reason why it got that big at all is because 10 years ago, Peter Thiel bought the President of the United States. On July 21st, 2016, Peter Thiel took the stage at the Republican National Convention in Cleveland and said,
"I am proud to be gay. I am proud to be a Republican. But most of all, I am proud to be an American."
He would follow it up by saying, "Nobody in this race is honest except Donald Trump," a statement that was followed by thunderous applause, and from him, a smirk. Peter Thiel...
So I don't want to play, like I said, this is a long video, so we're not gonna do all that. But if you want to know the story, if you want to know why socialism is failing to become popular with the people that it should be the most popular with that MAGA woman who is on Snap taking advantage of a socialist program, who would probably, if polled, tell you that socialism is bad. If you want to know why it's failing, it's because since the New Deal under FDR, corporations have been clawing back every single thing that was created to help the middle class. And people like Peter Thiel's whole thing. Peter Thiel, when he was younger, he wanted a libertarian society because he thought capitalism is the best way. If I'm left to my own devices, I can become wealthy. And he even thought, other people should be allowed to do that. And then as he recognized that he couldn't influence the government enough to get them to allow him to be able to do whatever he wanted in a very libertarian way, he realized if the government's going to control people, I don't want them to control me. I want to control the government. And he believes that socialism and power for the middle class is going to eventually, and by the way, he's right about this, eventually it's going to lead to the middle class, the lower middle class, the working class people rising up and taking the power back from people like Peter Thiel. And that's exactly what's going to happen. And that is exactly why him and Curtis Yarvin and J.D. Vance and Donald Trump and all of these people are doing what they're doing right now. Because they don't want you to know that you could take the power back. We got some other stuff to talk about tonight, though. Let's watch this video. This is I got Kyle Kalinske talking about what's going on right now. Oh wait, hold on before I do this. All right, I gotta get the. Did you guys see the big pharma guy today fall out? Oh my God, guys. Okay, I'm not laughing at the big pharma. Okay, I am kind of laughing at the big pharma guy falling out. Did you guys see this? Did you guys see the video of the guy falling out? I'm not going to play the video because it's kind of fucked up. Stop asking. But look at this. Have you guys seen the fucking picture? Holy Christ. Guys, Why is Donald Trump standing there like that as a dude is like in the knockout position? Why is Donald Trump standing like that while a man has his legs elevated like the knockout position? What is going on? How about this one? He doesn't know what to do with his hands. What is going on with this guy? Guys, look at this one. Guys, this is our president, guys. That's at the Hindustan Times, by the way. What the fuck? That shit is iconic. Oh my God. Anyways, all right, sorry. Now we'll watch the video. I was like, I have to show you guys that. I was like, what the fuck is going on? What is this reality right now? All right, so to continue with the talk about Donald Trump not understanding economics and also believing that all the prices are good and all this stuff, Kyle Kalinske here has a good video that talks about where the economy actually is. And what I like about this is Kyle Kalinski's making the argument that matters. The stock market doesn't matter. GDP doesn't even matter, even though GDP ain't great right now either. You know, like when we talk about what really matters, and I tried to explain this to Trump Republicans when Biden was the presidency. I was like, you guys are making the wrong argument. Stop talking about the economy in a way that you don't understand it. Talk about grocery prices. Talk about energy prices. Talk about rent prices. Talk about the availability to move up in your job. That's what you should be talking about. And none of these fucks could explain it. But thank God people on the left are smarter because they are explaining it. And Kyle Kalinski's video here goes into a bit about how Trump's current economy is failing.
All right, guys. So we've been talking a lot about these new polls that just came out. And the polls have just been catastrophic, just apocalyptic for Trump. I mean, we're talking, a 37% approval rating in one poll, 39% in another poll. Then when you get into the specifics, it's just a bloodbath. We're talking young people who he basically was even with, like it was like 45% support, 45% oppose. Like he was basically even with them in November. Now where are we? Now, he's at 20% support with young people. 20. I mean, that's got to be a record drop. It's got to be a record drop. And then one of the other things that we saw in this election the other day is that all of the groups that Trump had and the Republicans had theoretically gained voters with, they're gone. Not only are they gone, they're gone and then some. So, like, it's not even like the Democrats just made up for what they lost. Like, equal what they had in 2020. It's like they're doing better than they did in 2020. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, like, they picked...
This is important because, like I said, because people have been convinced to vote against their own interests, and not just by Republicans. You know, I'm not a both parties are bad person. I 100% believe that the people on the left are better people. I even believe that Democrats that I don't agree with, because I think that they're feckless and I think that they're cowards and I think that they won't stand up for their constituents, that I believe that fundamentally those people still have the right values. A couple of them, not so much. Everybody's got their bad ones, okay? But people have been convinced over a long period of time in this country, since the New Deal, that going out and asking for something that you deserve, something that you've worked your whole life for, is bad. That you're taking from these other people that have been better at business. They're not born into wealth. They're not super well connected. They're not, lucky. They're not, it's all super hard work and that's it. And you are wrong for asking for a piece of that pie. And the reality is actually the only reason that they have what they have is because you spent 20, 30, 40 years of your life slaving away for the lowest possible wage that they could pay you with the least amount of benefits that they could give you. And people are starting to figure that shit out. And if there's a silver lining to what is going on with Donald Trump right now, it is that Donald Trump, he doesn't have a mask. He has no ability to provide the type of facade that is necessary to keep people that have a fully functioning frontal lobe from going, hey, I think we're getting taken advantage of. And that is a silver lining. That is a very good thing. Because when he talks about 20% of voters now, young voters supporting Trump, when he talks about a low percentage of people agreeing that he's doing good with the economy, when he talks about a low percentage of Latinos that still support Donald Trump, you know what he's actually talking about? QAnon. He's talking about the people that said when Donald Trump stops running for office, we will stop voting. We have no reason to vote for anybody else. This is the Messiah. That's a really good thing.
Up better than they did in 2020. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, like, Democrats picked up Hispanics even more than the baseline. And this is a huge problem for the right. It's a huge problem for Trump. It's a huge problem for the right. Young people are gone. Hispanics are gone. The minority vote is gone. Young men, bro, they're not buying anymore what Republicans are selling. And the thing
because young women are like, get the fuck away from me. And thank you, young women, because I just saw the percentages of voters in the Mom Donnie, in the Spanberger, in the Cheryl votes. 80, 85, 87% of young women voting for those candidates. Thank you, young women. Like, in so many instances right now, are young women holding it together once again for this fucking country. Minorities and women. Again. That is amazing. And yeah, you know what? When you sit down on your first date, and your first Tinder date, and one of the questions that young woman asks you is, do you support Donald Trump, or did you vote for Donald Trump? And your answer is yes, and they're like, yeah, so anyways, check please. Yep, those young men are going to start finding out. It doesn't pay to be a shitty human being. It doesn't pay to not have empathy. It doesn't pay to think that videos of people being ripped off the street and being torn away from their family are funny. That's only going to lead to like anxiousness and depression and loneliness. That's the loneliness epidemic.
Is probably with a lot of young men, their main operative factor that made a lot of them vote the way they voted is, I don't know, cost of living, bro. I hope he'll get the fucking cost of groceries down. And Trump has just totally failed on that. He doesn't even give a fuck about it. You got ground beef up 30 or 40%, coffee up 30, 40%, so many things up double digits. So people are fucking furious, bro. They're furious.
Good.
Okay.
They should be.
So having said all that, you can go back and watch the segment I did on the polls the other day, but I got a new one for you because I think I may have stumbled across what is the poll that spells doom the most for Trump, more than any poll I've seen before, okay? But first, let me start with this. This is this is a YouGov poll, Trump's net approval on various issues. Immigration, he's -6. He used to be like plus 20, plus 10, plus 20. Immigration, he's underwater, -6. Jobs in the economy, -18. Taxes and spending, -20. Healthcare, -25. Inflation and prices, -33. He has eclipsed Biden on the issue of inflation, and Biden was hammered on the issue of inflation.
Yeah, Biden started with the fucking 16% inflation because of COVID. Like, there's just so much about Biden's administration that's overshadowed by the decisions he made in supporting Israel. There are so many domestic W's that happen from that fucking presidency that are just absolutely swept under the rug because of his foreign policy. Like, it's just so upsetting to know that we were in this, like, horrifically bad place, and we came out of it and we just coasted right over the top of a possible recession. And like I said, instead of Donald Trump just coming in, taking where that was going out and playing golf, leaving shit alone, and just claiming that was his economy, he just had to screw it up. And now what does he do? Because the supporters aren't smart enough to know the difference between truth and fallacy, he just lies to them. I defeated inflation. I beat it. Inflation, there is no inflation. And if it was, I fired it.
Okay, but I still haven't gotten to the thing that this segment is really about. You guys ready for this? I really need you to sit on this one. Let this one marinate. Let this one fucking, slosh around in your skull a little bit, because it just you got to digest what this really means. Ready? Look at this poll. How would you rate the economic conditions in the country today? So in November 2025, so Trump's second term, there's a poll that just happened. 72% of Americans say the economy is poor. 72. Now, what was the answer to this question in Trump's first term? Literally 68% of the country at this point in Trump's first term said the economy is good. Guys, do you understand that 2018 was a vicious beatdown for Republicans in the midterms? Do you get that? So even with 68% of the country saying the economy's pretty good right now in 2017, when 2018 rolled around, Trump got routed. MAGA got routed in that election. Democrats had a big showing. I don't even think we can really wrap our minds around what implications this has for the midterms in 2026. Because if 72% of the country is saying the economy is poor, and people voted against Trump in the midterms even when most said it was good, what are they going to do now that it's really poor?
Yeah.
That inflation is going up, unemployment's going up, mass layoffs happening all over the place, no signs whatsoever of things getting better. In fact, factory jobs are being shipped out of the country on a regular fucking basis. What do you think's going to happen now? He's hiding the fucking Epstein files and bombing random countries and doing corrupt deals by the day. And by the way, they talked to a voter who said the thing that really set them off was what Trump was doing with the East Wing. One voter was like, I think it's selfish. Like, why is he focusing on that? Why is he giving $40 billion to Argentina when people are struggling here?
I'm going to do something I don't do here on this channel. I'm going to tell you about a conservative channel that you should go check out. Not because I agree with everything the guy says, but because you should always be aware of what is going on the other side, what they think, what they're talking about, how they're feeling about this. If you want to see how upset conservatives currently are with Trump's administration, how suspect they think Trump's administration is right now, go check out a channel called Heavy Duty Country. Now, you're not going to like a lot of what the dude says, but listen to the words that he's saying. Listen to how he talks about Trump bombing other countries. Listen to how he talks about $40 billion going to Argentina. Listen to how he talks even about the Charlie Kirk shooter and whether or not that's a cover-up and whether or not Kash Patel should be the man doing that job. There are a lot of people in this country that aren't democratic, as these numbers show, that aren't leftists or progressives, that are very, very fucking upset about Donald Trump's presidency right now. And if you think, oh, well, that's just a streamer. He's got 905,000 subscribers. Go ahead and scroll them comments. Take a look at what all those conservatives are saying in those comments right now. I implore you. Now your algorithm's going to be all fucked up for the next week, and I'm sorry for that. But I implore you, go look at that channel. Go watch a couple of the videos. Shit, you might even agree with him on some of that stuff. He's got completely anti-Israel, pro-Palestine shit he talks about. Go check that shit out. Republicans are not happy with Donald Trump right now. And I'm not talking about MAGA. I'm going to continue to tell you guys that. There's a huge difference between MAGA Republicans and traditional conservatives.
You're demolishing the East Wing when, like, the fucking government is shut down and people aren't getting fucking paychecks and you're focused on some interior design type bullshit. This is what a Republican voter was saying. So think this bodes horribly for them. We might, look, it's possible, without any fuckery, without any rigging or anything like that, we're looking at potential prime FDR type midterm numbers here based off this poll. This is forget a 5-alarm fire. This is a motherfucking 500-alarm fire for Republicans. That if they don't fucking U-turn immediately, and that's the thing is, like, they wouldn't know how to get back to a place where they're making good decisions, even if they had a fucking roadmap to do it, because they're so lost. Like the party now is nothing but Trump's whim. That's it. There are no core principles. There are no fundamentals of being a right winger. It's just like the Republican politicians just go, I'm going to follow Trump. That's it. That's all they can do. And then the base is just, out hating each other. They're like, I'm more Nazi. No, I'm more Nazi. I hate everybody. No, I hate more people than you do. Like, that's what the base is doing. So this is a party post-Obama. When Obama left the political scene, the Democrats had a bit of an identity crisis and went through a rough patch. And they lost a lot of state and local elections. I think for Trump, it's going to be that except worse. I think it's going to be worse. I think it's going to be, because they're even more, like, Democrats had some semblance of a political philosophy. The Republicans are just, they got nothing other than what...
Yeah, the Democrats' problem after Obama was that they thought they had figured everything out. They thought that younger generations would forever be Democratic. And they became condescending. There's a lot of top-down bullshit where, a lot of lectures for young people. They fell out of grace, to be honest with you, even though they still had an identity at that time, which they don't have now. The left is struggling to find its identity, and it needs to find that identity in democratic socialism, in my humble opinion. But when Obama left office, they believed they had everything in the bag from this point on. They thought they would win forever the young people's votes. And the reality was they actually became more and more disconnected from young people every single year. And every time that they lost, instead of recognizing what they did wrong and going back and figuring it out, they doubled down and tripled down. And even now, as we watched Kyle Kalinske last night talking about Van Jones, talking about Mom Donnie, they're still doing the same shit. And that's why it's so important for every single one of you to recognize that this is a marathon. It's not a sprint. We got some huge W's this week, and we are loving it, and we are feeling good. But if we expect there to be a midterms in 2026, if we expect to have the chance to go and vote and turn the House blue and turn the Senate blue and do something about this dictator in the office right now, if you want to be able to do that, then you better not shut up. You better just stay loud. You better still show up. Every single protest, there should still be so many fucking people that they can't count. Everybody should know what's going on. Because if you do, if you decide that, oh, we won this, if you're those Democrats that after Obama just want to coast and just go back to bullshit establishment Democrat shit, and you just want to toss people like Mom Donnie under the bus, you want to act like what they did is of no real use, there won't be a 2026 midterms. What's going on right now? I'm listening to the tariff Supreme Court. I'm listening to testimony. I'm listening to the lawyers. I'm listening to John Roberts. I'm listening to Keegan and the rest of them. Jackson, Barrett, Kavanaugh. I'm listening to all those guys in that tariff talk, and it don't sound like they're so happy with the tariffs. I mean, Gorsuch, Alito, and Clarence Thomas, of course, sound like they're just sucking Trump's dick, but that's normal. They don't sound like they're so happy about what's going on. So right now, America's foundation, its framework, is getting stress tested. And amazingly enough, it's actually standing up. And we saw that. We saw that on Monday and Tuesday when people voted and all of these seats flipped and Mom Donnie won. The framework is holding up the stress test. It's okay. But you don't get to just live off those W's. You got to keep it going.
Trump say, okay, we'll shut our brains off, we'll defend him no matter what. Just defend the fascist death cult leader no matter what. And so I think they're cooked, and I don't know, man. I don't even know if there's anything they can do to fix it. All they can do is try to rig the election. That's it. That's all they can do.
Yep.
That's all they can do. Because there's no turning the ship around. And by the way, I should point out that we had the Supreme Court hear the oral arguments on tariffs. And
what do you mean, Cal? We're on the same wavelength.
Based off the questions they were asking, it really looks like they're going to strike down all of Trump's tariffs and say he does not have the unilateral authority to do tariffs on his own.
If you're talking about the gerrymandering reference frame, I think they're still hearing arguments on that. I do not think that they've ruled on that. I could be wrong about that. I mean, there's so much news every single day. I could have missed it, but I'm pretty sure I would have seen that. I believe they're still taking arguments on that.
So, what are Republicans going to do? I mean, first of all, that's the Supreme Court trying to kind of save them. But will Trump even listen? We don't know, right? But that would be the Supreme Court kind of saving them. And then, I don't know. I don't know how they couldn't even undo all the damage that they've done if they've tried, right? Yes, people think the economy sucks. People think you're doing a horrible job. Maybe you shouldn't have cut pediatric cancer research.
So what Tamara says right here, AG, I can't help but think if Mr. Kalinsky and the Bernie bros would have actually voted for Hillary in 2016, we wouldn't be in this mess. So that's pertinent. And I've told you guys before, like I said, y'all find all kinds of reasons to cancel me. In 2016, if you would have asked me my opinion on Bernie, I would have said things like, how are we going to pay for all that? I mean, just fucking straight up NPC stuff, right? Like the same thing you hear from NPCs now. You would have heard me say things like, yeah, Bernie seems like a good guy, but socialism doesn't work. You would have heard me say things like, oh, sure, free colleges sounds cool, but it's a pipe dream. You would have heard me say things like, I worked my way up from the bottom, other people can do it, and I think that that's pertinent to say that, yeah, even, I still, I wouldn't say I have animosity. I still have some criticism for Kyle Kalinske. I still have criticism for Mehdi Hassan. I still have criticism for the Humanist Report about them and the way they went about talking about Biden and the way they talked about Kamala. But I know 100% as a fact that me and Mike and me and Kyle and me and Mehdi, we all have the same fundamental values. We all want the same thing. And I think that what is important about Kyle and Mehdi and the rest of them is what we do after we're wrong, right? Where do we go? Do we sit down and kind of obstinately tell people that we've been right this whole time and we don't care and we're just gonna, we're not gonna take any responsibility for that? And some people would say, well, they haven't apologized, right? I don't know. Has anybody asked for the apology? Do you feel like they need like a formal one? Like for me, I don't. Like I don't need that, right? And maybe for you, you do, and that's okay. That's okay if that's what you need. But for me, like what matters to me is what we're going to do moving forward. Not so much what happened in the past. I think you look at the past and you learn from the past. And I say this to people all the time. I feel I may need to forgive you, but that does not mean I need to forget what you did. And I think that that's important. And that's the difference between allowing people to constantly cross boundaries and break promises and do things that are detrimental to your progress as a person or as a country. So I'm not going to forget that you did those things, but I do forgive you for those things. And the reason I'm not going to forget is because if you continue to do those things after I forgive you, then I'm not going to continue to forgive you, right? So I think that's what's important. I agree with what you're saying, Tamara. I hear what you say. And I even, you have the right to feel that way and feel upset about those things. But I do think that for the left to heal, and as I said, like a lot of times I'm looking at this from an outside point of view because I wouldn't claim to be on the left. I wouldn't claim to be progressive or a Democrat or even a democratic socialist, even though that's probably as close to a political party as I believe I can get. Because I think that parties are not a good way to represent my values. I think I represent my values and people can call me whatever they want to call me. I don't need to be lumped into a party to feel strong. Fuck a gang, I'm a posse. And I think that that's important. But I think that these guys are doing good shit now, and that's what I care about. That's what I care about.
Maybe you shouldn't have cut Meals on Wheels. Maybe you shouldn't have cut the National Weather Service and the flight safety officials, right? The air traffic controllers. But, like, again, even if they wanted to fix this now, it might be too late. It might be too late for them.
Yeah, so, I think it is too late.
Now, just imagine Democrats routing Republicans in this election, even without being all that aggressive. Like I always say, imagine if they fought. Imagine if they fought. Then instead of winning by, it was 15-point margins in the election the other day. It literally could have been like 25. It could have been like 25. And in the midterms, if Democrats get their shit together and start fighting more by the midterms, oh, buddy. Ooh, buddy. Forget about it. And by the way, it might give Democrats a little bit of, more wind in their sails now too, where they'll feel like, oh shit, we can lean into this resistance stuff a little more because look, we just wiped the floor with these motherfuckers. So that'll make them feel like, oh, okay, they want us, not them. So okay, let's fight. Let's actually like lean into it. Whereas before they were very tepid. When after 2024, they seemed very just like, I don't know, very passive. They seemed very meek and very passive. And it sucks because it was at a time when Trump was all in on destroying the country in every imaginable way. And
because the left just wants to they always want to play wait and see. That's what drives me nuts about the left. I'm a bit of a confrontational person. I'm a bit of an aggressive person. And that's not always the way. But I just think the left is just so passive all the time that they just want to like, well, people will see how bad this is, and that will make them want to vote for us. And it's like, I just think that that's just a failing in general. I don't think that that's how you should look at supporting your voters. I think the way that you should look at supporting your voters should be, let's show them results. Let's show them that we can fight for them. And then these people will be gung-ho to have us in office. That's how I think
needed
about it.
Massive resistance. But maybe now it'll put a little pep in their step. But, man, are they in trouble. They are seriously, seriously in trouble, and it is a glorious thing to see. Hey, y'all, do me a favor.
Like I said, I really like what he's doing right now. I really like what Kyle's doing right now. I'm a big supporter of Kyle. I'm a big supporter of Mike over on the Humanist Report. I'm a big supporter of many left-wing voices, including ones that you guys would disagree with me because, there's a real line that's drawn right now on the left over the Palestine-Israel conflict. And, there's so much to be said about that I'm not going to even get started. But what I care about right now I don't want this to be taken wrong because I've told you guys before, I think the taking of any human life that is innocent, that it does not want to be a part of your global conflict is wrong. Whether it's man, woman, or child, innocent people dying is bad. But what I care about in my bubble right here, when it comes to the people on the left that I like, that I enjoy from you guys, that I see in the comments or I see as potential politicians, is I want to know, like, do you believe that women should have a right to health care? Do you believe that women should have a right to vote? Do you believe that LGBT people have the right to exist and have equal rights? Do you believe that the immigration system may need work, but saying to undocumented immigrants that are paying into the tax system that are here holding up the economy that they have to leave, and if they don't leave that you're going to snatch them off the street and rip them away from their family, whether it's Obama or Biden or whoever, that's wrong? Like, do you like, those are the things that matter to me. And more, obviously. Obviously we can get into UBI. We can talk about the need for universal single-payer health care. We're going to disagree on some things. We're not going to agree. There's going to be people on the left that look at me and go, what do you mean the immigration system needs to be fixed? There shouldn't be an immigration system. They should just be allowed to come in. I don't agree with that. I believe that there is a system. I believe in structures. I've been a manager for 20 plus years. I believe that there's ways to go about things that are right and ways to go about things that are wrong. And I almost always believe that there's a balance to the two. So, I really like what Kyle Kalinske is doing right now. And I like that when things got a little bit spicy, Kyle got spicy. That it wasn't fucking this prim and proper, we're just going to talk about it like nothing's happening. Kyle is like, get off your ass and fucking do something. And I'm like, that's my man. That's my man right there. But speaking of, to go off of everything Kyle's talking about there, because guys, Kyle ain't wrong, okay? Kyle is not wrong. What is going on the right now is a fucking spectacle. And I am here for this shit. All right? It is getting out of control on the right now. The civil war that is happening over this recent thing that's been going on with Tucker Carlson and Nick Fuentes. It is a spectacle. And this is what I'm saying. The left better take advantage of this. The left better know what they're doing here. Like, this is a time, this is go for the jugular kind of stuff. This is not just, don't just sit on your hands. Like, you help this ball roll. Push on that ball. All right? Civil war erupts on the right after Heritage's president, Tucker Carlson, Nick Fuentes' comments. So if you don't know, obviously, Tucker Carlson had Nick Fuentes on his show, and the Heritage Foundation guy decided to comment on that. A civil war over the direction of the conservative movement and who should be considered part of it erupted after Heritage Foundation President Kevin Roberts posted a video Thursday defending Tucker Carlson for interviewing white nationalist Nick Fuentes. Guys, is Nick Fuentes going to be the presidential candidate? I was saying this last night on my stream. Is it going to be Marjorie Taylor Greene versus Nick Fuentes for the fucking Republican presidential candidacy? I guess J.D. Vance would be in there as well because Peter Thiel's not going to let his ass... Like, it's going to be fucking J.D. Vance, MTG, and Nick Fuentes. This is the dumbest timeline. The statement sparked backlash from Republican senators and a number of traditionally conservative organizations and from staffers within the Heritage Foundation itself, who said that Fuentes, who is known for anti-Semitic commentary, and his ideas are not worthy of debate. Nick Fuentes is a disgusting anti-American, anti-Semitic loser. He is not a conservative, not an America First, and not an ally of President Trump or any conservative organization, one Heritage staffer said after being granted anonymity. In his own words, Nick Fuentes is an ally of Stalin, Hitler, and the Taliban. That is not someone with ideas worthy of debate. Conservatives should pray he gets the help he needs, not give him even an inch of our space in our movement. This is insane. This is what Kyle was saying. This is how fractured they are. This is how crazy it is on the right. We thought the House during Biden's administration with MTG and all the crazy people, Santos and stuff was crazy. No, I think not. This is getting a lot worse, guys. But Roberts had also gotten strong backup from the heads of other conservative groups and commentators with influence in the Trump administration, like former Trump advisor Steve Bannon, who argued it should not be controversial to debate U.S. aid to Israel and that attempts to cancel those with opposing views are not productive. Following the uproar, Roberts posted another statement Friday more explicitly condemning the anti-Semitism from Fuentes and his followers, but not backing down from his defense of Carlson conducting the interview. Roberts, who has made the leading conservative think tank more aligned with the MAGA base, posted a video statement Thursday asserting that the venomous coalition attacking Carlson over the interview is sowing division, and the attempt to cancel him will fail. Roberts went far beyond defending Carlson, who is a personal friend of the Heritage Foundation president and has spoken at Heritage in the past, you don't say. He warned against attacking friends to the right rather than political adversaries on the left. He argued that canceling Fuentes is not the answer, despite him saying things Robert abhors and that his ideas should be challenged and debated. Good times. Like, what is going on right now is absolutely insane on the right. Like, this is everything the left had said. Like, the left had said before, like, look, man, sure, we can debate whatever you want, but I'm not debating racism. I'm not debating homophobia. I'm not debating whether or not trans people are allowed to exist. I'm bowing out of that. That's not debatable. Those are facts. That is truth. Racism is bad. Homophobia is bad. And trans people exist and deserve to have equal rights, just like everybody else on this fucking earth. The statement appalled a large portion of the political right who have spent years trying to distance themselves from Fuentes and his groyper white nationalist followers and feared them being seen as part of the conservative coalition. They are part of the conservative coalition. You can say they're not. We've seen the Young Republicans' text messages. Republican Jewish Coalition CEO Matt Brooks told Jewish Insider on Thursday that there would be a reassessment of the organization's relationship with the Heritage Foundation after the initial statement. Oh, this is amazing. Senator Mitch McConnell, Turtle Man himself, the former GOP leader in the Senate, pushed back on Roberts in a post on social platform X, saying, "Last I checked, conservatives should feel no obligation to carry water for anti-Semites and apologists for America-hating autocrats. Now, Mitch McConnell don't really have a problem with the white nationalist part. He's just like, I don't like that y'all are anti-Semitic. Advancing American Freedom, another conservative think tank founded by former Vice President Mike Pence, directly countered the statement from Roberts with a video statement from its president, Tim Chapman, saying some in our movement are playing a dangerous game, trading the flame of conservative principle for the flames of populist outrage. Chapman said, arguing that Carlson and Fuentes are unleashing a whirlwind that threatens to destroy what conservatives have built, inviting open anti-Semites into our ranks, he said. It will only fracture our movement. It's just absolutely amazing. And this is going to go on and on, because really what you're seeing here, right, is more and more of this stuff. Even Ted Cruz, right? Ted Cruz is saying, like, hold on, like, let's not be so anti-Semitic, right? Like, oh, hold on, the AIPAC's going to pull money. AIPAC's going to pull money. We can't have that. But that's just what's going on the right now. And this is what needs to be shown. And people like Kyle Kalinske are doing a good job. People like Dark Braden, which we can watch that video, are doing a good job. But the left needs to take advantage of this. The left needs to be doing play-by-play, color commentary on everything that is happening on the right in these areas right now, right? And it's not just Nick Fuentes being an anti-Semite, right? It's also the MAGA Republicans that have pushed back against Kash Patel sharing a Diwali meme, right? It's the MAGA Republicans that shit all over Vivek Ramaswamy for sharing pictures of his family because they're brown and telling them to get out. And then attacking Dinesh D'Souza when he tried to back it up. So Dinesh D'Souza actually responded here. Tucker's shit show. Dinesh D'Souza warns of mass desertions of minorities from the GOP following racist attacks on Ramaswamy. So Dinesh D'Souza, this gentleman who fucking filmed the 2000, or did he bankroll it? I can't remember. 2000 Mules movie, which literally, when he got taken to court, was told that if he couldn't produce evidence of the things that he believed, that he would be put in jail for contempt of court. And he decided, you know what? Actually, I don't need to fight this fight. And he backed the fuck out. That gentleman, okay, right there. Imagine the right being racist. Crazy. Veteran conservative commentator and pro-Trump pundit, also pardon receiver, by the way, Dinesh D'Souza warned over the weekend that minorities will abandon the GOP in droves if racist abuse hurled at non-white conservatives continues. Here's the crazy thing. Not we're leaving because you guys are a bunch of racists. If you racists don't stop being mean to us, we're leaving. Oh, what? Are you kidding me? Not these people were a hell of racists. We need to get the hell out of here. Not that. Just if you racists keep being mean to us, we're leaving. How insane is this? Vivek Ramaswamy, the former presidential candidate running as a Republican for governor of Ohio, posted a Halloween photo of himself and his two sons on Friday. The post received a wave of xenophobic and racist replies, including one user who wrote, "I see this year Vivek went as an H-1B immigrant here to steal your jobs. Very scary, like the brown version of the Grinch." By the way, this is the post. Look, do I think Vivek Ramaswamy is a grifter? Hell yes. Do I think that he's kind of a shitty human being? Yeah, indeed. Do I think that Vivek Ramaswamy chose to become a conservative because there's a bunch of poorly educated white people that he thought he could take advantage of? Yeah, probably. But do I think that him sharing this photo of him with his kids on Halloween is deserving of racist backlash? No. No, I don't. even with this dude, who in my opinion is a fucking grifter, a con man, a snake oil salesman, I still do not believe that he deserves racist posts on a picture of him with his children. I believe that his children have the right to grow up in this country just like any immigrant deserves to be in this country, with the chance to be successful and have a good life and to have a chance at real happiness. But you know who doesn't believe that? The people that he's trying to grift off of. On Sunday night, D'Souza shared the post and defended Ramaswamy, who was born in Cincinnati to Indian immigrant parents. Look at the abuse Vivek is getting for posting an innocuous photo with his boys. This is the shit show that Heritage and Tucker have brought upon us. If this continues, I would not be surprised to see mass desertions of blacks, Latinos, and other minorities from the GOP. Unreal, he said. D'Souza's comments referenced the recent firestorm of controversy caused by Tucker Carlson's interview with white supremacist Nick Fuentes. Vice President J.D. Vance, by the way, who's literally married to an Indian woman and has a child named Vivek, stirred controversy in recent days when he was pressed on whether or not he wants his Hindu wife to convert to Christianity. He said, "Do I hope eventually that she is somehow moved by the same thing that I was moved by in church? Yeah, I honestly do wish that, because I believe in the Christian gospel, and I hope eventually my wife comes to see it that way. And personally, if she wants to dip on out and maybe Eric Kirk can just jump on in that couch with me, I'm with that." He didn't say that, but that's he probably thought that for sure. Wait, does he leave? Are we wrong? Does he leave his wife for Erica, or does he leave his wife for the couch? Does the couch stay as a side piece after he leaves his wife for Erica Kirk? Is that, and also, will her name be Erica Vance after that? Vance later clarified on X, writing, "First off, the question was from a person seemingly to my left, so that obviously matters. About my interfaith marriage, I'm a public figure, and people are curious, and I wasn't going to avoid the question." He added, "Second, my Christian faith tells me the gospel is true and is good for human beings. My wife, as I said at the TP USA, is the most amazing blessing I have in my life." I don't think he said that. I'm pretty sure he didn't say that. "She herself encouraged me to re-engage with my faith many years ago. She is not a Christian and has no plans to convert, but like many other people in an interfaith marriage or any interfaith relationship, I hope she may one day see things as I do. Regardless, I'll continue to love and support her and talk to her about faith and life and everything else, because she's my wife for now." Okay, once again, I added that last part. Oh, I just left Bucket's just staying on the screen all night. What up, Bucket? I want to point out, too. You think he has like a waifu? One of those waifu pillows of Erica Kirk, guys? I just want to point out that this is how insane this country is right now. The woman who asked him that question literally was like crying. Like, she was like emotionally affected by asking this question, where she is pretty much saying to JD Vance, why would you sell us lies? Why would you sell us promises to be a part of America? Why would you sell us the American dream and then kick us out of this country? Why would you do that? And why would you have a wife that is an immigrant that is of different faith than you and still believe these things? And in doing that, JD Vance cracked a joke at a woman that was practically crying while asking a question about how mean and fucked up him and this administration is. He cracked a joke, and then he said, "You know, we gotta laugh, right? We gotta laugh." That's how crazy this administration is, because the cruelty is the point. They're literally trying to break people. But it gets better. There's still more. And I haven't even gotten this. I'm like 2 days behind. All right. I'm like two. They call them boneless couches on AliExpress. Oh. I'm like 2 days behind. I haven't even cut. Like the Civil War is popping off, and I'm not front lines, guys. I got a job. Okay, I got a job. All right. So Laura Loomer has joined the battle. It's crazy right now. It's like Marjorie Taylor Greene versus Lauren Boebert, but also Marjorie Taylor Greene versus Laura Loomer, Trump versus Marjorie Taylor Greene. Marjorie Taylor Greene's on The View currently. And then you've got Laura Loomer against the Heritage Foundation and Nick Fuentes and Tucker Carlson. And then you got Dinesh D'Souza and Vivek Ramaswamy. And then literally, guys, and I'm going to hurt all your feelings right now. You guys ready for this, lefties? Prepare yourselves. Buckle down. Grab the arms of your chair right now. Norman Finkelstein was on Candace Owens' show. So you guys need to go get your boy. Look, shit is crazy right now, but what we don't need is Norman Finkelstein on Candace Owens' show. I didn't watch it, so that someone verified that happened. Maybe it was a dream, a nightmare even. But if we could not be doing shit like going on Candace Owens' show, guys. You know, I said, I was like, the problem with the left is all the infighting. But you know what I think? I think, and where I'm wrong, is it's not the problem with the left is the infighting. It's the problem with whoever's in power is the infighting. Everybody gets into authority, and then they just start choking the shit out of each other. I'm in charge. I'm in charge. Yes, Finkelstein is the slow voice of Palestine. Yes, he is. Somebody needs to send his ass a strongly worded email about going on the Candace Owens show. That's all I'm saying. All right. Laura Loomer calls Heritage Foundation head a liability for the GOP in wake of Nick Fuentes scandal. MAGA activist Laura Loomer shredded Heritage Foundation president Kevin Roberts on Friday after his controversial defense of Tucker Carlson's interview with white nationalist Nick Fuentes. In a series of posts on X, Loomer called Roberts' comments outrageous, referring to the head of the conservative think tank as a total hypocrite and a liability for the GOP. Also things that could be 100% attributed to Laura Loomer. And so many others in the right now. Oh my God. This is like, what is going on in this country? I'm not sure whether or not I'm happy about this or I'm scared that somebody eventually is going to knock over the can of gas and drop a couple matches in it. I mean, do these people in the end, do they light the fire on their way out the door? Like, that's what I'm concerned about. Do we feel like, oh, actually, this shit's going okay. I think we're going to win this. I think we're going to come out of it. And they're like, fuck that. No, you're not. Like, is it like that relationship with perhaps a girl like Laura Loomer where you think, you know what? Actually, I'm going to leave. I'm not taking this abuse anymore. And then you look outside and you got 4 flat tires and your car's on fire and you can't find your cat. Like, that's all I'm saying. Like, this is how it feels right now. This shit is getting bananas. So anyways, this is a video here. Let's watch this.
A lot of people feel confusion because they feel as though their criticisms, which seem to be scripturally based, are being maligned as the division that is being sown, or that's what is being described as venomous. And I think a lot of individuals find that hard to reconcile, especially when it's said in defense of someone who would say that they hate Christian Zionists, or they hate people like Mike Huckabee or Ted Cruz because they support, Israel as a U.S. ally. Why doesn't that description go both ways?
That description can go both ways. What we're trying to do is eliminate that kind of venom both directions.
Is it venomous to say that you hate Christian Zionists?
Oh, of course it is. I mean, I've been really clear, not just
Have you been?
yesterday and today, but my entire career, that and the Heritage certainly has in its entire existence, that those kinds of things are just abhorrent. I said that
Right.
literally yesterday.
Because Tucker said those things.
Yeah, your buddy said those things.
So that would be, I mean, is that not sowing division?
It's certainly not helpful, but it doesn't mean that he ought to be canceled, because if in fact
Well, that's
you
not
want
the
to
question.
persuade
It's not
someone,
whether he should be canceled. Is that sowing division?
How does the right sound like the left? Oh my God. Oh God, it feels good. Feels good. They're like, we're not canceling him, actually. Yeah, you know who said that? You know who said that for a long time? That you could disagree with people and you can say you're not going to purchase their products, so you're not going to go to their shows, you don't want to see the movies, and that there's public backlash for saying crazy shit. You know who said that for a long time? The left. The left said that. Now the right's saying it. Laura Loomer went on to say, what Kevin Roberts needs to understand is you can respect someone's right to free speech, but also condemn them and their wicked behavior that is rooted in a desire to fracture the evangelical GOP base. Tucker is the demon who he says scratched him in his sleep. And up here she had said, the head of Heritage is asked if calling Christian Zionists is venomous. He said yes, and then said Tucker said that, and he froze like a deer in the headlights. He's a hypocrite and a liability. Loomer, who's a close advisor to President Donald Trump, and that makes all of us fucking afraid, also broadened her attacks to include the Heritage Foundation writ large. She predicted the downfall of the prominent right-wing think tank, the organization that pinned Project 2025, the high-profile plan for Trump's second term, which of course he knew nothing about, guys. Project 2025. Let's get a clip of Anna Kasparian on the screen. Of Anna Kasparian saying that Donald Trump doesn't know anything about Project 2025. Yeah, let's get that on the screen. Heritage is so done. No way they survive this. Donors are done. So many donors have told me that they are also done with the GOP. What a sad position for the GOP to be in ahead of the midterms. So much chaos over one issue when we should be united in combating Islamo-commies. Never forget that all of these people are fucking insane, just so you guys know. Okay? Whether it's MTG, okay, I missed this, Sylvie. And I'm putting that up. I'm putting that up, Sylvie. That's from a minute ago, but that gets to go up. It doesn't matter. Oh. Look, never forget when MTG's ass is on The View, trying to sound like she's sane. Never forget when Laura Loomer is calling out these people. Never forget when Dinesh D'Souza is saying that people on the right are being racist. That every one of these people are fucking insane. Never forget that shit. We will not sane wash this shit. We will not spend any of our good faith capital or empathy on these people. But I will tell you this right now. We will stand in around a circle as one of them beats the dog shit out of the other and yell, fight, fight, fight. I am so here for this. Loomer was one of many on the right who reacted with outrage to Carlson's Fuentes interview and Roberts' defense of it. A slew of angry Heritage Founder staffers subtweeted a video of their boss's defense. Nazis are bad, read the caption on a meme shared by the Heritage Research fellow Preston Brashers. Wait. The right wing saying Nazis are bad now? I'm getting confused. Imagine if these people had a fully functioning frontal lobe and had listened to anybody's show that was not Tucker Carlson's before this. And of course, Turtleman also hit the organization over its defense of Carlson, saying that we don't carry water for anti-Semites. Guys. And then, of course, the Heritage Foundation president apologized for defending Tucker Carlson's Nick Fuentes interview by saying, I made a mistake. Oh, Tucker. Do you guys think Tucker Carlson just like, when he got fired from Fox News and they had to pay all that money, do you think Tucker Carlson was like, I'm just going to burn this shit to the ground? Like, and then he just went just fucking off the hinges. Because I actually have, guys, I have a theory that Donald Trump is getting so upset with all the right-wing Republican people that have, like, Rand Paul, Thomas Massey, MTG, that have pushed back against him, that I think Donald Trump, when they offer him the third term, he just goes, nah, I don't want it. And then he takes his shit and he leaves because his narcissistic ass wants to watch the Republican Party just fold so he can point at them and laugh and say, look at you. You are nothing without me. I kind of feel like Tucker Carlson's doing the same thing right now. This implosion, I mean, I called it. I called it in November, last November, after the election. I said, these people are going to eat each other. The Heritage Foundation president Kevin Roberts, who defended Tucker Carlson's choice to interview Nick Fuentes, apologized Wednesday to the conservative think tank staff, Wednesday saying, I made a mistake. I made a mistake and I let you down. And I let down this institution, period. Full stop. He's using Gavin Newsom talk now. He added, you can say you're not going to participate in canceling someone while also being clear you're not endorsing everything they said. You're not endorsing softball interviews. You're not endorsing putting people on shows, and I should have made that clear. Oh, guys. It's crazy. It's fucking insane. He has Swanson money! Exactly, Tag. Exactly. He has Swanson money. He could burn it down, rebuild it, and burn it down again a few more times. You are not wrong, my friend. So let's get some in-person stuff though. Let's make sure. Let's get some Dark Brandon in here. Dark Brandon, if you guys don't watch Dark Brandon, I love Dark Brandon. I love all the videos from Dark Brandon. But we watched the empathy video, whether or not the right should be getting empathy, whether or not the left should be giving empathy. The left should be giving empathy to the right the other day. Great video. Check out Dark Brandon. Dark Brandon is dope. Like, subscribe, do all those things. Awesome voice on the left. And if you like animated leopards, also really cool. So this is a video called How is the Right Reacting to the Democrats' Wins from the Mom Donnie and the Mickey Sherrill and all those people. So check it out. Like and subscribe to my dude.
Hey there, folks. Hope you're doing well today. The election results are in, and the Democrats had a resounding victory. We saw Democrats win the Virginia governor race, the New Jersey governor race, the New York mayoral race. California passed Prop 50. This was a redistricting measure, and it was expected to tilt several U.S. House seats towards the Democrats in 2026. We also saw Democrats advance in a Texas House race. And so what we saw was a referendum on Donald Trump and the Republicans. And really what this is a mandate that Americans are not happy with the direction the Republicans are taking things.
They're using our language now. It's time to start using their language. It's a mandate. It's a mandate.
But let's take a second and see what Fox News thought of it.
Great to have all of you with us as we look at these results and very significant wins for Democrats tonight, Dana.
So my partner in crime over there, Bill Hemmer, mentioned the polling, and I think that's going to be one of the threads that people are going to want to pull after this, because the polling did suggest much tighter races. That is not what happened. But you know what was undefeated, and I'm sure Britt Hume will talk about this, and that is the betting markets. And so I think that the whole polling industry has to take a look and say, with these phones, with the new ways to do it, what do we don't have a handle on? I do think that...
What don't we have a handle on? Oh my God, the gambling epidemic in America where we bet on like everything?
To the extent that there was any story at all is a little bit of a surprise. These are blue states. There shouldn't have been much.
Yeah, Georgia, really, really blue state. It's pretty blue down there in Mississippi. Very blue down there in Mississippi.
Suspense, but I think that because the Democrats are in such disarray, aside from the Democratic Socialists, who appear to be going very strong.
Yeah! Hell yeah, brother!
Are we in disarray, or did we just win all the elections that were hosted? Let's be honest. Americans have a very short memory. They just needed to have Donald Trump in office and the Republicans licking his ass for them to remember what life was like with him as president.
But I think it's going to be very difficult from a messaging standpoint. All of the energy is behind Zohran Mamdani. And what I remember something that George Will said, every 20 years or so, people need a controlled experiment in socialism to remind them of why they need adults in charge.
Yeah, we should definitely go back to the 1950s when socialism gave you fucking everything that you have right now that you really don't want them to take away. And by the way, I'm talking to Republicans.
And unfortunately, for the city that is not of my birth, but it's certainly the one that I adopted and that I love this place.
Okay.
But I thought it was filled with like crazy criminal immigrants that like attack people all the time. I thought that New York was a shithole city. Now we love it? Now we love it? I thought it was like the worst place on earth. I thought that's what Republicans thought about it.
Let's begin by congratulating Zohran Mamdani. And this creates this very unique moment in time where New York becomes an incubator or a beta test for a possible mixed economy, right? A mix of capitalism and socialism. And just as Donald Trump did when he won the election, Zohran has made a lot of promises, very ambitious ones. And the onus is now on him to deliver. But let's be honest, it doesn't look like Dana is actually approaching this in an honest way.
No. And I'm going to say this again, is you cannot just put the emphasis on Mamdani. We need people to primary people like Fetterman. We need, now that Pelosi has dropped out, to make sure that the person that replaces Pelosi is somebody that supports the values of Mamdani. We need more people that are going to do the things that he has said he is going to do the things because he can't do it by himself. And he's not going to be able to do it with just the voters' help. We need politicians in office that support his ideas and are going to make them happen, are not beholden to billionaires, big pharma, corporate establishment Democrats. Like, we don't need more of that. We need people, and the only way we're going to get it is through us doing the job in office that are going to support what Zohran is doing.
Zohran is not trying to make New York a communist city. What he's trying to do is rebuild a middle class while giving resources to New Yorkers, all by just taxing the rich. And
Crazy.
if you're being honest and you're looking back in time, that is one of the major ways that the middle class disappeared, was tax cuts for the rich. And you could point to people like Ronald Reagan or Donald Trump doing so, being responsible for those tax cuts. Now, Trump did weigh in on things pretty soon after the election results came in. We're going to hear Brett Baer read his Truth Social, and it's short and sweet. Let's take a look.
Trump is weighing in. He just posted on Truth Social, quote, Trump wasn't on the ballot and shutdown were the two reasons that Republicans lost elections tonight.
And here's the great news, Donald Trump. You're never going to be on the ballot ever again. And so, by your logic, the Republicans are never going to win again because you're never going to be on the ballot again. Jesus Christ. Narcissism much? Now, let's hear how the panel reacts to Donald Trump's message. I'm sure it'll be nothing but yes men and butt licking.
Charlie Hurt.
That's a very Trumpian message. And it's true. I would say
wow.
It certainly was not a bad night for Democrats. But I would temper it a little bit. You know, if we sat back 6 months ago and sort of predicted the outcome of all of these races, we probably would have done a better job of getting it all right than you would by reading the polls. And
the fuck did he just say? Did that man just say if we had predicted this 6 months ago, it would have been helpful in getting this all right? Does he know the words that just came out of his mouth? He might also be experiencing cognitive decline. It's a possibility.
Last couple of weeks, Dana raises a great point, though, about the betting markets. It's like, who is it that's getting in late? I mean, they nail these things. And even if the betting markets are wrong the day before the election, by the time, polls close, they are like within a tenth of a point. It does kind of, I'm suspicious enough, it makes me wonder.
Is a Fox News host realizing how corrupt America is becoming, like, live on air? That was a moment for him. He's like, now that I think about it, that Trump coin thing was kind of weird.
Whether or not it's not campaign people doing it.
And so what did we just see there? Right? The guy basically agreed with Donald Trump and was like, yeah, we're never going to win a race again. You're not going to be on the ballot. Yeah, this pretty much sucks. But then went on to just basically say a lot of words and not say anything. Like, are they paying this guy for this commentary? There is zero value so far in what he said. But the cherry on top is the way he tries to introduce a conspiracy theory at the very end. Like, this is what the right does. Like, what a way to live.
This is not to be unexpected. I don't think that it's not a bad night for Democrats, but I don't know that you can really.
As on the side, it's like 57-43. Not a bad night, not too bad.
Spiked the ball here. Certainly Democrats won the expectations game.
We also won the thing called elections. I don't know.
I don't know.
And now let's hear from Nick Fuentes' favorite Indian, Vivek Ramaswamy.
Oh, no.
Well, it's official. We got our asses handed to us. Republicans, we lost in New York City. We lost in New Jersey. We lost in Virginia. Democrats swept all three. In the case of New York City, it was actually a Democratic Socialist that won by a pretty decisive margin. What's the lesson for us? I think there's at least two lessons we're going to have to take away from tonight. And we're going to. I'm going to make sure we do. The first is we have to lead the way in offering answers on the affordability challenge that so many Americans
said the word.
facing. I hear it in my home state. We have to bring down costs. Bring down those electricity bills by producing more energy. Bring down the cost of housing by building more homes. And by the way, also bringing down property taxes. Bring down grocery prices. Bring down healthcare costs. Ultimately, the way you fight inflation is stop printing and spending so much money at every level, federal government all the way to state and local. We're spending too much money as a government that drives inflation.
Bro, first of all, you are in the wrong party, brother. He's like, we need to do socialist shit. Oh my God. Dude, do you know how people had to have been reacting to that? Dude, that comment section was probably filled with the most racist vitriol that you have ever seen in your life. You know, working in retail probably isn't that bad, actually. It's better than being Vivek in the Republican Party.
Wait, but you can now call it the Gulf of America. There's big wins happening.
That's right! We can call it the Gulf of America. Hell yeah, brother, we did get W's.
In MAGA land, we're over here celebrating the fact that you got in bed with extremists and are now just realizing it. In fact, you make your whole second idea based around that. Let's take a look.
And lesson number 2 is that we don't want to practice identity politics. That's not us. It's not the way as Republicans. It's not the right way as conservatives. Leave that to the woke.
Dude, Vivek is literally saying, please stop being racist against me. Can y'all not, leave a bunch of racist comments under the pictures of my kids? That'd be, super dope. I could totally forgive you guys for saying a bunch of racist shit about my kids if you guys could just stop, please.
Left. Race, gender, sexual orientation,
Literally.
religion, national origin. That's the stuff of the woke
National
left.
origin, he said.
Don't imitate them.
No.
Focus on merit. That's who we are. Focus on actual tangible.
Bro, you called them retards. I didn't. Those weren't my words, guys. Don't cancel me. Okay, that was his words. Him and Elon called them the R word. Look that shit up. I didn't make that up. All right. I know you guys are already writing me a strongly worded email, but those weren't my words. Man, You told them all that they're so stupid that you have to import people to do the good jobs. You aren't winning this fight. I don't know what the off-ramp is for Vivek Ramaswamy. I would imagine it's just like, go away, right? Like, no one's going to care if Vivek just like, I almost said disappears, and that should be kind of fucked up. I'm sorry about that. I mean, like, if he no longer was seen in the public eye anymore, like, the left would be like dope and the right would be like dope. Like, dude, my guy, just, I don't know, man. Weren't you like making money somewhere else doing something? Like, go do that shit. Write a book. Like, write a book about Trump. Lots of people do it. They make a lot of money. My guy, just like, you need to get out.
Policy solutions that lift people up.
But this is who the Republicans and the right are. And they keep reminding you of it over and over again. And it's not like they're, sugarcoating it or tiptoeing around the ideas. They're telling it to your face.
Yes.
Let's take a look at an example of this.
Oh, no.
This is when Vivek hosted Am Coulter on his podcast. Let's see if you can identify the identity politics.
Oh, no.
I brought on today somebody who I think has some thoughtful perspectives on the future direction of our country, of our conservative movement, and on this question of nationalism and national identity, somebody I've been fascinated by for a long time and have interacted with on social media, but for the first time we're having at least a live form.
Bro, he sucked up so fucking hard, too. Dude, he was like both hands just going at it. He was spinning it and shit. Fucking rubbing the head. Like, he was going so hard. All of that to just get fucking racist slurred.
Conversation in the offline sense of it. It's Ann Coulter. So, Ann, thanks for coming on. And
I'm sorry. What did he say? He got judged for his national origin. That's how he prefers to say it.
Looking forward to our conversation today.
Me too. Thanks for having me. That was a fantastic opening monologue. I too am a fan of yours. I'm going to make a point of disagreeing with you so that it will be fun. You are so bright and articulate, and I guess I can call you articulate since you're not an American black. Can't say that about them.
Oh, the American blacks.
That's derogatory. And that was a great,
kind of, sort of, definitely, yeah, legit.
Great opening segment. Lots of things to talk about there. Oh, and I agreed with many things you said during. In fact, probably more than most other candidates when you were running for president. But I still would not have voted for you because you're an Indian. We'll get back to that. And it's directly related to what you were just talking about. You know, the thing about nationalism, you're totally right. It is like, to use the word nationalism, oh, it's Hitler, it's Hitler. And, Hitler had soup. That doesn't mean we shouldn't have soup. Mm-hmm. Hitler loved dogs. That doesn't mean you shouldn't love dogs. So I think we have to move past this.
Those are solid arguments. You guys can't really debate that, okay? What the fuck is that? Like, this is what amounts to fucking intellectualism on the right. Hitler had soup. He liked dogs.
If Hitler did it, it must be bad.
Hitler did it must be bad. That is no one's argument, lady.
I don't think I do use the word nationalism. I would use a word you used in your monologue, which I liked quite a bit.
Look, there's a bunch of failed artists out there right now that we still have empathy and love for. Just because Hitler was a failed artist doesn't mean we hate them too.
And that's citizenship. There's citizenism. How about Americanism?
And so there you have it. Vivek sat down.
She said Americanism.
One of the people who helped shape a lot of these ideas around the conservative movement today, Ann Coulter. And she said to his face, hey, I can't vote for you because you're Indian. And not everything Hitler did was bad. And this is kind of like Americanism. And Vivek was like, yep, these are my people. I'm at the right place. He really doesn't understand that the right and the Republicans have really made identity politics a cornerstone of their ideas and beliefs. Not only identity politics, but nationalism and racism, xenophobia. But what would you expect when this behavior is put on display by the leader? Either way, congratulations, Democrats. We are very happy to celebrate your wins, and we will keep celebrating those on the right making ignorant decisions against their own interest.
100%. Don't forget Dark Brandon, guys. Go sub to Dark. If you don't know Dark Brandon, you should go sub to Dark Brandon. We are getting close to the end here, and then you guys got Vasora coming up next to actually do a real show that isn't just a bald white man with a beard that looks like he might be MAGA, making fun of Republicans for infighting and sharing what could possibly be seen as gossip. But if you think it ends there, we've got one more thing to watch before this is all said and done, guys, because as I've been doing on my stream, I'd like to continue doing on this stream, is on this space even. I would like to continue to say that you guys can't let all of this get to you in a way that you forget to laugh, forget to have fun, forget to have joy, right? And the way we've been doing it over on my channel lately is we watch some funny videos. And I have a third channel now called the Angry Ginger Funny Live Clips, because everybody gets mad when I share the funny stuff on my channel. They're like, we're supposed to be mad at Trump. I'm like, I am mad at Trump, but I'm also laughing at Canadians. It's fun. And I shared a 22 minutes video. And because of that, it blew up, got 25,000 views on my 100 subscriber channel. And it was nothing but Canadians. And it's the best comment section I've ever seen in my life. And one of the things that they did was, first they told me what a beaver tail was, which apparently it's delicious, and I'm so here for that. And they told me about the history of 22 minutes. And they also suggested a lot of videos to me to watch. And so Canadians told me I could watch these 22 minutes. So Matt, if you have any issues with copyright, you let them know that the Canadian people said that we could watch these videos, and if they got a problem, they can take it up with them. All right. So, by the way, there's no copyright problems because these people are cool. Because Canadians are cool, guys. Be more like Canadians. Okay. I'm also moving to Canada. So this video, I'm reacting. This is one of the people wanted me to react to. They're like, please do some reactions to these ones. So I thought I'd do it live with you guys and have a good time. This video is from 22 minutes. It's called "What Does a Pot Sobriety Test Look Like in Canada?" And being that I'm from California, guys, okay? Any topic that involves weed, obviously I'm into, okay?
This car's been stopped for quite some time. I'm going to check it out. Excuse me, have you been smoking any pot today? No. Well, you've been stopped here for 15 minutes. Can you tell me why that is?
We're waiting for the stop sign to turn green.
I'm pretty sure that's the guy who's the ICE agent in the Nice Agent video.
How high are you?
How are you?
No, I said, how high are you?
Hi, how are you? This cop is so friendly, babe.
Okay, I am going to have to conduct a pot sobriety test.
Oh, man, I'm too high for that.
Blow into this?
Hey, is that a breathalyzer?
No.
Oh, just for a second, I thought she took the breathalyzer and thought it was a vape pen. It's a kazoo. I did not expect a kazoo.
Okay, now I'm going to ask you a few questions to determine your ability to drive. Why is a pizza box square when the pizza's a circle and all the little slices are tiny triangles?
Oh, wow. I wasn't ready for that. I wouldn't be able to pass this test.
Which of these two snacks would you prefer? Chips or the cookie dough?
Woo! That looks like a flavor of Doritos that we don't have here in the States. I don't think I've ever seen that flavor. I can't tell what it says on the package, but that's not a color of Doritos that I've ever seen before. I'm going for the Doritos.
Step out of the car, please.
Let's go. Please, don't drive high. We're getting cookie dough all over the back of our cruisers. A message from the Royal Canadian Mounted Police.
So this hour is 22 minutes. And like I said, the video that we did the other day that got real popular was the nice agent video. And like I said, I got a lot of love from Canadians, and they pretty much told me I need to do some more videos on all the other stuff that the 22 minutes people do. There's a really funny guy who goes and does like Jordan Klepper stuff with Americans, and I think it's from like 10 or 15 years ago, but they're pretty funny. And just the way that they interact with their politicians. So these 22 minutes people, they'll literally like chase down politicians in Canada, and like the politicians know them so well that when they see them, they run from them because they know that they're going to run up and they're going to make jokes and stuff. And it just goes to show like how big of a difference there is between what is going on, like how abnormal, how absurd it is in America right now, how big of a difference it is when you have comedians chasing down politicians, sometimes asking them about like, about drama that they're involved in Canada, and they laugh and sometimes they run. But in America, what we have is we have Donald Trump, who literally gets mad at reporters for asking him normal questions, specifically ones pertaining to the Epstein files. That's it's absurd. And so just like I said, you guys should be going and seeing some of this right-wing stuff to see what they're saying about Trump, and seeing that right-wing people are also pretty pissed off. But also you should be going and checking out videos that make you laugh, help you learn stuff, make you feel good. Because as I've said like a ton of times before, there's really no reason to win this fight and then come out the other side like MAGA. Like, we should be coming out the other side of this feeling like we did what was right. We got things accomplished. We made life better for everybody else around us and for ourselves. And that, like, it was worth doing. It's no good to look over at the person next to you and see that they didn't get to come on this journey with you and find the same success as you. We got to keep each other healthy, and we got to keep ourselves sane. So go watch some 22 minutes. All right, guys. We got Visor coming up in a minute. I'm going to just finish up by saying, this is a good week, right? A lot of W's. Oh, by the way, I forgot to talk about it. God damn it. Sandwich thrower guy, not guilty. Sandwich thrower guy, not guilty. Biggest news all day long. Okay, and that should say something to you. That should say to you right there that Americans aren't going to put up with this shit. But we've been getting a lot of W's this week, and it feels good. And I'm glad that everybody's happy, and I'm glad that Mom Donnie won. And I'm glad that Prop 50 passed in California. But it's a marathon, not a sprint, and we gotta keep 10 toes down. We gotta stand on business. We gotta not back down, and we gotta make sure that these people hear what the fuck we have to say. All right, guys. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. And if you want to check out my show, it's on Saturday at 5 p.m. this weekend. And yeah, we'll see you then. All right, guys. Love you guys. Have a good night.
Hello, everybody. Good evening. Welcome to the show. So, we've got quite an interesting show lined up for you today. We're going to be talking about a pretty big, if true, topic. I'm going to be presenting my analysis and my opinion on, where these implications may lead. Fair warning, it's actually also kind of a horrifying story, but on the bright side, we are not going to have the time, likely, to go through all of this today. So, if you do want the full scope of the story, don't forget to go and follow me on YouTube and Twitch, youtube.com/@VizorOfficial, twitch.tv,